Welcome to the Total Boss Podcast, and I'm your host, Christiano Green, a podcast where we talk about finding fulfillment through self-development, being a leader of your own life, and getting the most out of it as well. Tenacity, originality, talent, authenticity, and being legendary. It's all about living your best life. Hello, all you total bosses out there, and welcome to this week's episode of the Total Boss Podcast. I am your host, Christiano Green, and I'm a life and business coach working with gay men and women to help them build up their confidence so that they can find fulfillment and freedom in their life so they can create true happiness and go from there. So today's episode is actually going to be all about confidence. So I find that when I am working with my clients or talking to potential clients, that the number one thing that people are looking for is to build up more confidence, because if you are more confident, then, you're willing to try new things. So meaning you're going to put yourself out there and try something that maybe you haven't done before. You're going to utilize your skills, time, and resources. So people who are confident make the most of what they have. So they make the most of the opportunities, they make the most of their resources, they make the most of their money, their time. They're the types of people who will utilize what they have to actually go out and have a better life. When people are confident, they're actually a lot more happier, right? Because confidence makes you do things that are happy because it pushes you in the direction of your own happiness. You actually feel way more connected to other people, so you're connected to other people at their core, and really show yourself as who you truly are. So when you're really showing yourself as who you are, obviously you're going to be more confident, and then when you're more confident, you connect yourself more to other people. And when you're also confident, you really trust yourself, right? You're going to be a trusting person to your own self, right? Because when you're confident, it means that you're really just building up little brick roads, a brick wall, basically, one brick at a time. And each time you do something that, builds trust within yourself, your confidence grows as well, and vice versa. So the more confident you are, the more trust you have with yourself, right? And then the most important one is you stop comparing yourself to other people. This is the biggest thing that I find out there, is that most people think that confidence is an external resource, when in fact, true confidence actually comes from within. I don't know how many people out there believe that confidence comes from how someone else sees how good looking they are, how someone else thinks that they are super smart, if someone else thinks that they deserve something more than them. There's that difference between confidence and ego, right? And really, when it comes down to it, confidence is actually building up something about how you see yourself, about how you feel about yourself, and about what you're doing with yourself to actually truly create something that is going to be sustainable. Because external confidence is only going to last for a short period of time, because you're always going to be needing validation from someone else. And until someone else comes into your life and devalidates how you look, or how smart you are, or how much money you have, or how you dress, or any of those things, you're going to start to see that your confidence is going to waver. And so if you're building up the confidence from within, then you can be focused on building confidence in who you are as a person, in how you interact with yourself, how you treat other people, and the effort that you put into all of the things that you're working towards. Because building up confidence is more about really knowing that what you did, you tried your best at. Whether you got the result you were looking for or not, it's not always about the outcome. It's about the intention, and it's about your behaviors, and it's about your attitude. So when you're looking for confidence and you're looking externally, you're not going to find that those things are going to help you, because you're going to have those other people really determine how you truly feel about yourself. So really, when it comes down to confidence, how do people know that they're confident, right? So, there's a difference between confident and insecure people, right? So a confident person is going to be open-minded, whereas an insecure person, opposite, will be closed-minded, right? Confident people likes to give compliments to other people because they, can see the good in other people, whereas someone else who is insecure is actually probably going to be seeking validation, needing to get compliments again, because that external factor is what they're looking for to build up their own confidence. Whereas that's actually, like I said, insecurities. Now, confident people are open and willing to learn from other people, whereas an insecure person is a know-it-all, They think that they know more than everyone else, so they're not really looking to learn from other people out there. Whereas confident people, are really going to take responsibility for who they are. They'll take responsibility for their thoughts. They'll take responsibility for their feelings, their actions, and their results. And you'll see the insecure person will actually make excuses for everything. So it's never going to be their fault. They're going to be the person that's a victim when it comes to that, because insecure people like to, like I said, make excuses instead of taking responsibility, taking ownership. They're living at effect, whereas confident people are living at cause. Well, confident people like to operate on principles. They've got morals, they've got ethics. They really like to know exactly what it is that when they make their decision. Insecure people do what feels good in the moment. So they're really doing what is seeking a little bit more of oomph, because maybe they're not feeling the best. So they're trying to do what feels good, Confident people like to admit their mistakes, whereas a insecure person, what can you imagine? They'll blame other people. So it's not their fault. Whereas confident people can own it because they understand that they're on a growth journey. They can actually get better. So if they admit their mistake, own their mistake, learn from their mistake, they can take themselves to a new level because they're at that place of acceptance. Now, confident people are not afraid to show their flaws, right? They understand that, they're not perfect because, there's no such thing as perfection, and they understand that they're on a growth journey again and they're trying to improve. So if they can not be ashamed or afraid of their flaws, then they can actually work on improving those things that they're there because they're accepting them as part of who they are at that moment. Whereas the insecure person does come off fake because they hide their flaws. They think they're perfect. They try to show everyone else they're perfect because they want other people to see them in a certain way, right? Whereas the confident people don't care necessarily how other people see them. They focus more about how they see themselves as well. Whereas, a confident person is obviously going to be more thinking in the positive frame of mind, and an insecure person will have more of a negative mindset when it comes to how they really think and come across. Confident people like to take risks out there, right? They really take a risk if they understand that no risk, no reward. And sometimes it's taking that risk that's going to give you something that you truly, truly need and deserve, right? Whereas the insecure people will stay in their comfort zone. The confident people know that life is all about living in the uncomfortability because that's where growth happens. That's where you go and take yourself to a whole new level. Now, confident people never talk negatively about other people because they don't need to, right? They're focused on who they are, they're focused on what they want, and they're focused on where they're going. Whereas the insecure people will obviously gossip about people because they were trying to, maybe pull people down to their level because they feel in pain, so they like to try to maybe bring someone else down or talk about other people behind their back as well. The confident people are really going to be having an abundance mindset, really. They're going to really look at things and go, how can I get more of this? Or I know that there's more out there. Whereas someone in insecure is going to be scarcity mindset and not really, they're going to be take, because they think that there is a limitation of what is out there in the world and how they feel as well. Confident people like to spend time with other people and truly like to connect to other people and learn about them because they find that, that's going to help them grow and develop, and they like to be around other people. Whereas an insecure person really does dislike other people because in that way where they're looking for confidence from other people externally, there's that thing of like, if I see this person, they may not like me. Then if they see me for who I am, they may hate me or they may judge me. And so they dislike other people and necessarily don't always want to be around them as well. Confident people accept others' differences, right? They like to know that other people will have a different point of view, will live a different life, will see things in a different way, and understand that that's totally, totally okay. And so for them, they're like, okay, cool. They accept other people for who they are and the differences that they have. Whereas the insecure people are going to be judgmental of someone who's different to them because they want to see someone who's the same so that they can feel on a similar level to other people. Confident people can laugh at themselves, right? They understand that, if they make a mistake, they do something wrong, they trip over, they're clumsy, whatever, laugh at themselves because, they don't care about what other people think of them. Whereas obviously the insecure people are going to worry what other people think of them because they're going to be like, oh, someone's judging me, etc., etc. Most people who are judgmental really are judging themselves at the core anyway. And the confident people make decisions quickly, because they understand that, they can change that. If it doesn't go right, they can do something different. Whereas insecure people can't make decisions. They struggle with it because they don't want to be in trouble for making the wrong decision with themselves. And finally, confident people are going to keep learning and growing because they understand that that's a big part of their life journey. Whereas the insecure people stay stuck in old ways and bad habits. So really when it comes down to confidence, there's a couple of things that I really like to try to teach my clients. Number one is that confidence is a skill set and it can be mastered, right? A lot of people think that, people are born with confidence, or that some people are lucky and that they just have a confidence, taught to them at a young age, and you just can't get it. And, I'm going to be doomed for a life of feeling depression, feeling anxiety, feeling shame, feeling guilt, feeling unconfident, unhappy, unfulfilled, and, really in a tight strain in their own life. But when you learn and understand that confidence is actually a skill set, you can do some things to actually learn you're going to master it, right? And so someone who really understands that confidence is a skill set will do a couple of key things each day that is going to help them to build confidence, right? So people who are confident and want to build up their confidence really focus on congruency. So they're wanting to do things that they love, right? Because moving in the direction of things that you love and getting better at those things and spending more time on those is actually going to put you in the right state of mind, And when you're doing things that you love and you spend time and you see yourself growing and getting better at those other things, you build more confidence within yourself and also confidence in that skill set that you're trying to build. So when you look at many things, everything in life can be looked at as a skill set. And if, for example, someone is going to start playing tennis or start photography at the beginning, you're not going to be that great, and you're not going to be confident in how you're playing at the very beginning. But if you love that thing and you play it more, you'll start to see your confidence in that task always gets better and improves, because the more you spend time on something, the better you get, the more you love at it, and the more confident you will be. And so that's the same thing when you look at confidence as a whole. It's all about pushing through into the uncomfortability and knowing that that is how I'm going to build my confidence in something overall. Whereas if I'm, like I said, sitting there, not trying those things, you're only going to be pulling your confidence backwards because one, you're not putting yourself out there, two, you're not growing, and three, you're just seeing and wishing that you were doing something that you haven't been doing. So understanding everything's a skill set will really help you to truly be able to master it as well. Now, two is, clarity, understanding the process and the why. So again, when you're trying to figure out something, if it's tennis or photography, you want to find someone who's going to help you, like getting a coach, a tennis coach, someone who's going to teach you how to do photography or any other skill that you're wanting to learn or master or improve upon. Getting the understanding of the process and the why and how it's played and why it's played that way will really help you to build your confidence, because the more you understand something, again, the better you know it, the more confident you'll be, the more likely you're going to do it, and then the more likely you'll be improving and seeing your confidence rise. So congruency first, clarity second, but obviously the most important thing, again, when you're trying to build up something is consistency. Practice makes perfect. So practice all the way through. Obviously, the more you spend time on something, again, the more you're consistently playing it, the more you understand what you need to do, you're going to have clarity on the process, understanding what you do, and a congruency because you're doing things that you love. So these ways are really going to show you how you build up your own confidence in anything that you do, which again builds internal confidence for you. And then obviously another way to get that confidence is getting feedback from other people. Asking questions from people. Like I said, with your coach, finding out what it is that's going to help you to improve your serve or your forehand if you're playing tennis, allowing them to give you the true answers. If you're missing something that you're like, I just don't know what it is, ask for help from people and you'll get the results that you truly need, because feedback is super important for us along the path of growth, and it also builds up our confidence, because again, the more you're willing to ask someone, how much more confidence are you going to build when someone gives you a good answer and you get result. And also your confidence in asking people is going to continue to grow, because again, you're consistently asking people for help. And that's going to build up your muscle of asking for people and getting results as well. And another thing is gratitude and journaling and rating yourself. Where are you in relation to your confidence today? Where are your relations in your confidence with your tennis today? Where are you in your relationship with your confidence and your photography today? As you can see, if you look at it and you start journaling about where you're going, or you rate yourself, go, today I was a 3, tomorrow I was a 4, next week I'm a 7, an 8. I went back to a 4 because I was tired. If you start to look at those things, you'll start to see gradual improvements, and seeing that improvement in gratitude and journaling and rating yourself really is a great way to see you actually progressing. And when you start to see progress, that is what people are looking for when it comes to confidence, progress. So progress is super important for you, and it's something that I think most people want to strive for when they're actually putting themselves out there for it. Now, the second thing that I like to help people understand for is, again, which I've been mentioning before, confidence comes from within. It's an internal thing instead of an external thing. So again, if people are out there looking for external resources for their own confidence and their own happiness, they're going to find that it's going to fluctuate because, again, they're waiting for someone else to make them feel confident, see them as a confident person, or do something that's going to say to them that they are confident. And again, as it's easy as it comes, easy as it will go when it's an external resource. But if you focus on the internal, again, what is it that's not working for me right now? What are the things that maybe I want to improve upon? How am I showing up for myself? How am I showing up for my friendships? How am I showing up for my team? How am I showing up for my clients? All of those things, if you constantly ask great questions for yourself, go within, your confidence is going to be focused on you and what you're doing and the areas where you're growing. So if you're constantly focusing on your own growth, you're going to build up more confidence, because naturally when someone's on a growth journey, they're moving forward and they're moving up the steps on the ladder. But if someone just stays stagnant, you never just stay stagnant. It always goes in reverse. So if someone who is depressed, if they're depressed for a year and they're not working on things to move forward, in 1 year's time, they're more depressed than they are actually the same level of depression, right? So if someone takes a step forward out of their depression and they focus on it each day, you'll see that those people who are depressed will actually move into more confidence. They'll start to see themselves in a different light. They'll start to focus on the things that are bringing them joy, making them happy, and they won't be in that depression anymore. So a big thing when it comes to this is a lot of people will compare themselves to others, right? And so when we're comparing ourselves to others, it's super unhealthy and super unrealistic, because someone else has lived a completely different life to you. And so what they're doing and how they're showing up isn't going to be the same way as you are. So you can't expect to be in comparison to someone else, because it's just never going to be that way, because you've never lived the same life. You've never walked in the same shoes. You've never had the same jeans. You've never done the same things. So you can't really compare yourself. The only person you should ever be comparing yourself is yourself. Are you better than who you were yesterday? Are you better than who you were last week? Are you better than who you were last month? If you can see growth, amazing. That's who you should compete with. And if you're in a competition where you actually are in a competition with someone else, again, don't focus on the result. Focus on how much effort you're putting in and the level of growth that you've probably had from the previous time that you played something like that, right? When we compare ourselves to others, a lot of people think that grass is always greener on the other side. But in fact, it is actually greener where you help it grow. So if you're looking at someone else's garden constantly, you're giving that energy to that thing, then their garden's going to be greener looking. But if you're focusing on your own garden, you're preening, you're weeding, you're taking out the roses and the thorns, you're planting new seeds, etc., you'll start to see that at the end of the day, your grass is going to grow and it's going to be luscious, and you can be much more happy because you're focusing your energy where your grass is and it's growing as you are as well. Now, everyone does have different skill sets, right? So again, we can't compete to other people, because if someone's got a different skill set to us, how can we then compare ourselves to them? Someone might have started something 10 years before us, or even a week before us, and we're better than them. So us comparing ourselves to someone else is just not really going to be realistic, because again, life is completely different. Life is a polarity of negative and positive, so we can't always be great at something or great at everything, right? We'll be good at, we'll have things that we're great at, we'll have things that we're not so great at. But the thing is, people who are confident will look at those things that they're not great at and go, one, I'm either not interested in those, or two, I know that if I put my effort in those things, I can get better at it, and I can be better at it than I was yesterday. So it's all about really perception on what you want to be good at and what you want to spend your time doing. Because again, if you're not good at something that you really don't like, then does it matter that you're not good at it? It shouldn't, right? So don't compare yourself to other people, because someone who's doing well at that has probably spent their time in it, enjoys it, and finds value in it. So let them be great at that, and you be great at the gifts that you have as well in your life. Our thoughts about ourselves play into our relationships, right? So if we're seeing ourselves and comparing ourselves to other people, it's going to play out in our relationships. So if we focus on ourselves and building our own confidence truthfully, are we going to have better relationships or worse relationships, right? We're going to have better ones. But if we're in a depressing state and we're allowing ourselves to be negative and we're not focused on our confidence and we see everything as fixed, then what will happen is our relationships will suffer as well. So you want to sit there and go, okay, how can I add value to myself so that I can be better for other people? Because that is the way that true relationships work out. It's the most important relationship we ever have is the one we have with ourselves. So putting ourselves first, doing what we need to do, and really stepping up is just the best way for you to actually own yourself and put yourself out there and grow your relationships as well. Now, when it comes to comparing other people, the best thing you can do is really embrace self-doubt. If you're doubting something, use that as a compass. Focus yourself in the direction of the doubt, because that means that it's an area for you to improve on and grow. If you're doubting yourself in an area, you can only get better. So don't allow the doubt to hold you back from doing something, because that's where your confidence is going to waver. It's about really looking at things and going, hey, let me level up myself. Let me improve myself. Let me be better than I have been at this thing. And don't let the doubt take me in a direction that I don't want to go. Take me in a direction I still want to go, and face the fear anyway, because that's what's going to help you push forward, build your confidence, and take you all to a whole new level. And finally, the best thing you can do when you're trying to stop comparing yourself from other people, practice self-compassion. Focus on you, be compassionate to yourself. Do some amazing things like mirror work, looking in the mirror, high-fiving yourself, telling yourself that you've got this, that you've got each other. Because every time you're looking in the mirror, there's two people. There's the human body, and there's the spiritual self. And you're looking at yourself, and if all you're doing is ever telling yourself all the things you don't like, or telling yourself that you're not good at this or not good at that, you're bringing yourself down. You need to start focusing yourself in the mirror. I would recommend starting by the first thing in the morning as you're brushing your teeth or something. Look in the mirror and give yourself a high five and say, you've got this and I've got you. Or whatever flavor of that works for you. Because you putting your hand up and doing the high five and looking yourself in the eye and telling yourself that, you can't have negative thoughts when you're doing that, because you've been conditioned to see high fives in such a way that every time you put yourself up for high five, you're only going to ever feel good. So if you start high-fiving yourself in the morning, I can promise you that one big thing that's going to change around is your confidence, because you start going to have your own back. You're going to start believing in yourself, and you're going to do some of the things that you've always wanted to do. The final thing that I really teach in my to my clients when it comes to confidence is confidence mastery. Now, confidence mastery is all about being on a journey of growth, being on a journey of allowing yourself to get support from other people. Of course, confidence does come from within, but we can't walk this path alone. So we have great people around us who are supporting us, who have been there before, who can teach us and guide us. That means that every time we have a falter, we can talk to someone who has actually been there before and help us move forward faster. Because I bet everyone out there really would love to move forward faster. The problem is a lot of people try to do everything on their own, thinking that they can do it on their own. But the problem is yes, you probably can, but it'll be at the expense of something else, and it's going to take you way, way, way longer than it would if you got the help, got the support, and got the actual learnings from people who've actually done things before. They'll teach you lessons, they'll help you avoid mistakes, but you'll also get the fastest growth that you're looking for. So these are the three key things that I really try to teach to my clients when it comes to confidence. Now, I am actually running a free 5-day Unstoppable Confidence Challenge that is starting on the 25th of the month, October. I run them every month, so there'll be one in the future if you're listening to this after the date. But it's really all about, like I said, 5 days teaching those three key things in absolute detail. One is, confidence is a skill set, so let's work on mastering it. 2, confidence comes within. Let's look internally instead of looking for external validation. And then thirdly, the confidence mastery, getting support. It's really understanding the journey of growth and how you can best fast track your results to be the most confident version of yourself that you deserve to give yourself. So that's coming up on the 25th. If you'd like some more information, then reach out to Christiano Green on Facebook and I'll give you all the details. It's filling up fast. There are limited spots. So if you're interested, jump on and get in touch, because I'd love to be able to help, be your coach, and guide you to unstoppable confidence in this challenge. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been another epic episode, and I hope that the tips today when it comes to confidence are really going to level you up and take you up to a new level when it comes to your own confidence. Always remember, guys, that this is a weekly podcast. I'd love to hear any feedback from you. So if you've got anything, contact Christiano Green on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or leave your comments below because I read and check into everything that you have said. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. And always remember that you've got this and I've got you.